I think we'll open the floor up now for questions.
Question for Barry. Great talk. We know from the U.S. Geological Survey how much asbestos was produced by Kazakhstan last year or 2 years ago. And we know for many countries how much was consumed, imported, et cetera. We have any, I'm sure there was extensive use of asbestos in Gaza because of the roofs, because of cement, water pipes, et cetera. Have you run across any data about how much asbestos has been used over the last decades in Gaza in particular?
I've looked for that and I haven't seen any quantitative data. There was a publication in the American Journal of Public Health, I believe last month or the month before, that focused in part on environmental exposures in that war, and I did not see any quantitative information. I've also inquired with regard to Ukraine, and I have not seen any quantitative data on civilian exposure to asbestos. Clearly, this needs to be done not only for those wars, but ideally for all wars. I appreciate your raising the question.
2 comments for Tony. So, Tony, the asbestos industry was not the only nasty industry that made children's books. The lead industry did too. National Lead Company created a creature called the Dutch Boy.
Yeah.
And there was the Dutch Boy's coloring book,
Yeah.
which I've seen. And then the other thing, your comment about how there was hardly a product known to humankind that they didn't find a way to insert asbestos into it reminds me of what's going on these days on plastic. I'm doing a lot of work these days on plastic pollution. And for those of you who haven't been following the numbers, the plastic and petrochemical industry is pivoting big time to plastics because they can see the long-term market for fossil fuels going down as people buy electric cars and put solar panels on their roofs, even if there's a little bit of a hiatus going on in this country for the next 3.5 years. The long-term trends are probably inevitable. And they can read the tea leaves. And so they're going big time into plastics. And what they're doing is very ingeniously, just like the asbestos people, coming up with more and more and more and more uses for single-use plastic stuff you use once and throw away and then lives in the environment for several millennia. So
Plastics are another material that it's not common in surveys, but I find it routinely in thermoplastics. That was actually a topic on an online forum recently about asbestos and plastics.
asbestos in the plastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I have several books that there's chapters on asbestos and plastic.
I think we have time for one more question, unfortunately.
Yeah, hi. Also a question for Barry. Somebody that's still learning about asbestos awareness. I heard that you talked about the military, and I didn't know that a lot of their equipment and they were exposed to asbestos. As somebody I'm kind of surrounded by a lot of people in the military, there's no awareness whatsoever. And I think that's kind of, it worries me. I just wanted to ask you, do you think, or if you know today, if they're taking any more like measurements, better measurements to kind of not be as exposed to asbestos? And also, do you think there should be like, and they should be tested and forced to be tested if they're in the military?
Yeah. I'm not aware. There needs to be much more testing and awareness on this issue. I really support your concern about it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
So we'll end this session and move on to session 4.